Welcome to this end-to-end project in Microsoft Power BI about the sales analysis dashboard in Power BI. Let us see in detail. So, there's one company named as Techno Edge Learning Services, which keeps on receiving the data every month. There's a dedicated team who sits, cleans and combines the data, creates a report in Microsoft Excel, and then they send it. The activity takes a lot of time. How Power BI can help it, how Power BI can solve this issue, how it can automate your end-to-end work, let us see in this particular project. So let me explain you the data set. I have this folder kept into my file. If you see in this place on my laptop, there are approximately 36 files in the folder. These 36 files are comma separated values, CSV files. Now, this company receives every month one particular file, and the name of the file is given based on the month it receives. April 2020, December 2020, January 2020, and so on. So what people do in the company, in fact, all the organizations, they still do not have the idea or the clarity how it can be done. Those people, what they do is there's a dedicated person in the company. It can be an MIS team, or it can be an Excel users, or VB or Python users. What is their job in the company? If they want to combine this data, first of all, they first open the file, copy the data, paste into a new file. Open the file, copy data, paste into a new file. Open the file, copy the data, and paste into the file. So this keeps on going till the number of files get exhausted. That is number one method, basic method. If you're a bit smarter, you might use Microsoft, maybe Excel VBA, knowledge about automating, creating a script on that. Again, if you're more smarter, you might use Python. You might write some script so that it can combine all the data. But very few people understand that we do not need any code, knowledge here. Microsoft Power BI can clean the dirtiest possible data you have ever seen in your life, okay, without even learning coding. This is possible. So that's what we are going to see in this project. Now, what is this total scenario here? This data is received every month. It's a sales data, it's a customer data, it's about the transaction data what we have. Now, the person in the organization has to present this data to the director of the company. Now, the director of the company wants to understand how much profit we have received, which month we received the maximum profit, which client gave us the maximum profit, which region we received the maximum profit, and so on. So the director of the company wants all the answers so that they can take a quick decision. For example, if South region is giving maximum profit, we can do something in the South region. If East region is giving some lower profit, we might keep some discounts and get the answers. If X customer is giving the maximum profit, we might send him the goodies. We might give him a better service. If Y customer is giving the lesser profit, so we might talk to the person, understand what is the reason, what is the problem, and try to fix it. So all these questions, answers needs to be presented in the form of a dashboard, a beautiful dashboard. Now the problem here is there's 70% of time people invest in cleaning data and do not even know that. Okay, so this particular project will show you how to clean and combine the data. But before we proceed, everyone, let me show you what exactly the data set is. If I open this file 2020 April, now I can show you the data what we have here. Let me bring the data here. Now this data is about the sales data which a person receives. It has many things: sales information, customer information, or the location information. Now this data is only for the month of April, which is for 2020. You can see the date when the order was received. Now, for learning purpose, for a project purpose, this is a beautiful data which I like and which I want you to share with everyone. This data contains different data types which can be used for practical purpose. Like for example, we have a date data type. We also have the text data type. Text data type we have like shipping mode, customer ID, customer name, and segment. We also have some other data type which is geographical location. If you see, we have something given as country, city, postal code, region, and so on. So geographical is something which gives you information about the location. It can be city, country, state, pin code, postal code, airport, latitude, longitude, anything which gives you information about location. So remember, if you get something information about location, create a map. Do not create column charts or pie charts. That's something which you can learn. So this one is a geographical data type. Moving on to the next part, we also have some other data type, which is a text data type. Now there are different products. Okay, we have a product ID, we have a category name, we have a subcategory and the product name. So one category is divided into separate subcategories. For example, if you have a furniture, we might have chairs, tables, and everything. And same way, we have different product names which you can observe here. The other data set what we have is the numerical column. These are the sales, quantity, profit, and discount. So this way we have a full-fledged data where there are 21 columns in the data set. If you observe here, 21 columns and approximate number of rows are 170. Every file will have different number of records. Some might have 100, some might have 500 and so on. So I'll just close this file and I'll say don't save. Let me open one more file which is 2021 April, and this also contains same columns. Okay, if I just bring this file over here, and if you see, it also contains the same column headings. Now you might have questions. What if the file has different column headings? What if the file has different column names and etc., which I'll give the answer very soon in next 10 minutes. So the first thing is, if I want to combine all these 36 CSV files, remember it can be CSV, it can be Excel or PDF, the steps would be something different. But suppose if I want to combine this 36 CSV files, if you ask any person in the organization who's working from last 10 years, the options, the answers would be, one is the copy paste, one is the using VBA macro, and third would be a Python. But if a person is layman like me who has no technical or coding knowledge, what is the method the person can use? Let me show you that. The data, all the 36 files can be combined in just 3 steps without using keyboard. Yes, this is possible. Let us see practically. So the first thing, we'll be going into the Power Query of Power BI. Let me show you that thing. So this is the Microsoft Power BI, the newer version of Microsoft Power BI, which was upgraded with user interface in March, April 2023. Now, there are some companies who are still in the previous version of Microsoft Power BI. They have a reason, they have a valid reason for that. The newer version of Microsoft Power BI has some defects and bugs which have not yet been solved, and I keep on seeing the issues in the training here. The older version of Power BI used to have a data visualization tab over here. So where you used to see column charts and pie charts and everything. But now in the newer version, you can see all the visuals are created or visible in the home tab. If you see, if I click on this drop down, the charts are organized in a very beautiful manner. So if a new person is watching, they can easily use it. Now, if you're in the older version of Microsoft Power BI, if you have installed before March, April 2023, you can go to this file, options and settings. You can go to the options part, and here in the options, you will find the preview features. In this preview features, Microsoft upgrades Power BI every month. Trust me, every month, and it's very difficult for a person like me, a trainer, to upgrade the features. So you as a person have to understand that these features can be upgraded from this preview features option. So here if you see, that's on object interaction, that's one part. Also we have some other options. These are some new add-ins which are available. So you select all the checkboxes and then click on OK. So we have the on object interaction. We also have the option as optimizer bin and so on. So once you select all the checkboxes, click on OK. This will ask you to restart Microsoft Power BI. You have to reopen the Power BI and then this new features will be visible. Remember, there are some defects in new version of Power BI. Microsoft will keep on fixing it one by one. Now, coming back to our topic here, we wanted to analyze the data, but 70% of time goes into data cleaning and combining, which no one talks about in the organization. Trust me. This is a survey which I've done by training all the corporates, not one or two, all the corporates across the world, and there's the same problem. So let's see how to combine this in 3 button clicks or 3 steps. Number 1 step is, you have to copy the path of the folder where all the CSV files are kept. It can be Excel or PDF. So this is first project we are doing here. So this is a CSV file, very simple data. Copy the path of the folder, come to the Microsoft Power BI. Get data more button. And here you can select this folder option. Remember, Microsoft Power BI can bring data from 100 plus data sources. So one of them is folder, CSV, Excel, PDF, LinkedIn, and so on. So I'll select the folder option, click on connect, and here I can paste the path of the folder. Now I can just click on OK. What will happen is all the files from the folder, their name and the extension will be visible. There is some metadata or the information about the file like date accessed, date modified, date created. You will be getting those attributes. But now I can just click on combine and load. It is only possible when the data is clean. You can combine all the files. But sometimes there are some blank records, duplicate records, error messages which has to be fixed. We have some other method to clean that data. So currently I can just click on combine and load data. What will happen is all these files kept into the folder will be combined, and the third and the last step, The first step was copy paste the path of the folder. Second step was combine and load. And third and the last step is click on OK. I haven't used my keyboard. I haven't used any coding knowledge. Okay, coding, scripting and all. And you see on the right hand side, okay, there should be a data tab which is not visible in the new version. So I can go to view tab and then click on this data option. The moment I click on data option, I can show you that all the columns which we have seen there will be visible here. You see, all the columns are visible here. Now it has been clean and combined without any coding. This is monthly sales data. This is actually name of the folder. If you see, that's a monthly sales data, name of the folder. So now, Techno Edge Learning Services is a company which receives this data. Now remember, the end goal is the person or the director of the company should have a clear visibility about the dashboard, which customer, which region and everything. Do not forget the end goal. Plus, the bonus point would be we have to automate. The person doesn't have to come to the office to do this actual work every day. So do not prepare daily reports every day. Do not prepare weekly reports every week. Do not prepare monthly reports every month. This is redundant. You just have to prepare a report once in your lifetime and it will keep on upgrading automatically. This is the feature of Microsoft Power BI. So now coming to this part, everyone, if you want to see the data, here is the data tab or the data view and you can see all the records will be visible. The total number of records are 7,892 records. And these are all, assigned or appended properly here. Now coming back to the report view. Now this end-to-end project, we are assuming that you already know Power BI, you already know the basics of Power BI. After learning those different tools in Power BI, you are capable of doing this particular project. This is the first and a very simple project. But trust me, this particular project can save at least 2 months of time of every individual in the company if they do this kind of work in the organization. Now, moving on, if I have some defects, if I have some problems in the data set, I can always go back to transform data, which is a Power Query editor window. Let me bring that Power Query editor. Here at the backend, it has applied some logic and it has combined all the data set. Okay, I have got the data here. Now, what are the questions you might have? What if the column names are different? What if the number of columns are different? What if the records are different? There are many questions you have. So let me tell you three things. Number one, column name should be exactly same. If the first file is having, let's say, order space date, the second file also should have order space date. You cannot even miss a space in the column heading. So remember, if the first column is having the column as, let's say, country, the second file should also have the name of the column as country. It cannot have country space. It cannot have country 1. So the column name should be exactly same. So people might think this is not possible. People don't fill the column names exactly same. So here comes the part of an Excel person. The Excel person in the organization should create a template with the column headings. They have to fix those column headings, lock those column headings and send those files. This is what we call as a template. If you do this, a practice, this will save a lot of time at the end. Okay, this will be a practice. So people don't trouble the column headings. They will keep on changing the data. So the first thing condition is the column heading should be exactly same. Number two, the position of columns can be here and there. For example, if the order date column is the first column in one file, the order date can be fifth column in the second file. The order date can be 10th column in the third file, which is possible. So order date, that means the column position can be here and there, no problem. The third option is the number of columns can be less or more. The first file has 10 columns, the second file has 20 columns, and third file might have 30 columns, not a problem. So the number of columns can be less or more. And the last one is fourth point. There is a question which was asked by a fresher. Okay, if the number of records are different or if the number of records are less or more, what will happen? Definitely the number of records has to vary. It cannot be the same records. So number of records has to be different because the transaction table or the data is coming from different months. You will not get the same customer every month with the same product buying with the same quantity. No. So the transaction details obviously has to vary. Okay. So these are the 4 pointers you have to remember. Now, depending upon the file, the answers will change. Right now it's a CSV. If you pick up a PDF file, okay, or Excel file, the answers will change. So if you have 1000 Excel files, 1000 CSV files, or 1000 PDF files, 1000 is just a number. You can make it 2000, 10,000. So those number of files can be combined in Power Query, in Power BI, which is highly possible. Trust me, it is possible. So I'll share one case study with you. There's an organization which used to combine PDF files. They used to do it manually. By doing this process in 10 steps without coding, those companies have automated their combining PDF. When I say PDF, let me be more technical here. That was a purchase order which can be combined. That can be invoice number, or it can be an offer letter, or it can be a bank statement. All these different PDF documents can be combined. So coming back to our project, we have combined 36 CSV files from the folder. Now I want to change the text into an uppercase. For a state, I can go to right click, transform in uppercase. City, I can just convert into uppercase. Same way, I can select the customer, transform, and I can convert into uppercase. I can also go and search for columns where I think there should be a problem. I can fix those things. So, for example, sales, if you see that's a decimal number, I can just convert into maybe a whole number. Here for profit, I can convert into a whole number. If you want, you can do it. If you don't want, you can skip it that part. So I'm just converting those into a whole number everywhere. Okay. And this is the data. Here I can say combine data. So this is the best practice. You can just rename the queries. Okay. Combine data. And finally, this all cleaning can be done. For a safer side, if you have some duplicate values, you can also clean those values by selecting Ctrl A from a keyboard. And then in the remove rows option, we have remove duplicates. Remove duplicates will remove the duplicates data. Sometimes a transition comes in the last month and the next month. It might happen. So if you want to avoid that problems, you might remove the duplicates also. This is one method which will work for you. Now, finally, after doing all this cleaning, this is just a beginning. There can be 100 topics of cleaning in this particular file here. Now, after that, you can just go to close and apply. And what will happen is Power Query will close. Power Query is a data cleaning software. Remember, this might help you to clear the interview if you are a fresher or an experienced person. Power Query can clean the dirtiest possible data you have ever seen in your life with a pattern. Now, when I say with a pattern, those files should be in the same format. So imagine a bank statement. A bank statement always comes in the same format. The format doesn't change. So if you have some Excel files, CSV or PDF files, Power Query can clean it. Not only combining, but cleaning as well. So now, carefully observe in this place. If you see in the data view, there are how many records? 7892. Okay. 3 steps were required to combine the data. Now this has been automated. So suppose next month a file comes. Okay. So suppose if I copy this December file, I will right click and paste that particular file. I have this file given as December copy. Now there are 37 CSV files in the folder. Do I need to come into the office to open the file, copy the data, paste the data? The answer is no. You do not have to come to the office, at least for this work. Okay. So you can go to Power BI and remember the number 7892. Here if I go to Home tab, if I click on refresh button, the moment I click on refresh button, 7892 records will be changed to 8244, 8244. Now, if the data is getting updated, okay, it was a lowercase data. It has been updated, duplicate values have been removed, and you're getting the output here. So now, when I update the data here, the dashboard also should be updated. Okay, that's the beauty of this particular Power BI. Now, people might have a question. Okay, they might have a question that December file I copied and I pasted here. So obviously the records will be duplicate, which you might think, which is actually correct. If you're an experienced person, you'll have that question. For time being, what I can do is I can delete this file and keep those 36 files. When I go back to Power BI and here I go, in this Power BI, I can just click on Home menu bar, refresh. So keeping just those 36 files, I have got the data. Coming back, I have 7892 records in that folder. Now, the data has been cleaned, the data has been combined, okay, and this has been automated. The number of records are also getting updated here. Now, the next part is we'll be focusing about how to create a visuals in Power BI. Give as much as information possible so that our director of the company can understand. Now, usually we write in an Excel file the questions which have been asked, okay, that the person wants to see by region, by city, by country. So, however, we can try to design this, by ourselves. Usually in the corporates, you get a ready-made requirement that these are only 10 questions which has to be asked. So let's begin and create our own dashboard in Power BI. So the first thing is we assume that you have already gone through the Power BI training here, the basic training, and then you understand all the visuals and charts. So the first chart what we can prepare is we'll create a simple bar chart over here that will be for maybe subcategory sales. So I clicked on this particular chart here and I clicked on this button which is a data. Here, if you see, I have the x-axis, y-axis, legend, and so on. I'll create a column chart for subcategory sales. So I can click on add data, select subcategory. In the y-axis, I can select the option as sales. And this gave me a simple column chart for subcategory sales. So I can place this chart in somewhere at the bottom. Now, same way, if I want to add some cosmetics on that, for example, the data label, we have this new feature available, add or remove visual elements. Here I can select this data label and then click on outside here. Now, if you observe one thing, the data labels are in millions. So if you see 0.1 to 0.16 billions, so we will also format those visuals very soon. Okay, the data labels. Moving on to the next visual I can prepare, I can think about a donut chart and a pie chart, which will show me about the region sales. So to create a pie chart, let's say, I can select this option as a pie chart, which will talk about the region and sales. Since I know the columns, I can prepare it. But if you are preparing for your project, you should know the column names, you should know the requirement what you have. So I can go to legend part, I can select the option as region. In the value section, I can talk about sales. So this gave me a region sales, a simple pie chart. Same way, I can also create a simple donut chart, which will talk about maybe segment and sales. I can click over here, go to the legend part. Here I can select something given as segment. Now in the values part, I can select the option as sales. Now segment is something which is consumer segment, corporate segment, and the home office segment. So all the materials which you sell, all the products which you sell are classified based on different segments. So if you remember in COVID or coronavirus when it came, the corporate segment was very much down. Okay, only the home segment was doing well because people were asking for office setup for the home. They used to do something for that. So now this is by region, this is by the segment wise distribution. Now moving on to the next part, I can also create a simple bar chart for maybe category and sales. I can select here and I can talk about this option as category. The x-axis I'll talk about the sales part here. So now this is a category sales part. So now we created a simple bar chart and a column chart. Let me show you one observation here. If you show this particular column chart to any person in the organization, carefully observe the text which is written here, it's tilted. It's in the slant one. So nobody would like to tilt their head and read this. Okay, so remember, it has to be in a simple line in a horizontal format so they can read it properly. So what you can do is, this particular chart which you have prepared, it's a column chart. We can click on this data bar here and convert into a horizontal bar chart. And if you see now a person, if you show this report, the person can read it properly. Okay, this is the best way you can present. And on the other hand, these are only three categories here. You can select this and convert into a column chart here. So the person can read it properly here. So this way you have to understand what is required and what we can use it here. So now we can present this data here. First, we'll create the visuals. So I'm talking about the subcategory, the category, region, the segment. And now remember, whenever you have a data type, it should be into a line chart or area chart. So if I want to show the sales across all the years, I will use line chart or area chart. So I'll go back here and I can select this option. These are different charts. Let me prepare a ribbon chart over here. Now in this ribbon chart, if I create it, I have the option as x-axis, y-axis and legend part. So in the x-axis, I can pick up the order date. In the y-axis, I can pick up the sales option. Okay. And now in the legend part, I'll pick up here the region part here. So what it is trying to show the information, let me explain properly. Carefully observe this purple color region, which is on the top always from last 3 years. So it was always on number 1. If you see, that's on the top. So that means the sales received from this particular region is always highest. If you talk about this east region, it is also on the top, on the second position. If you talk about the south region, if you see in the south region, it was on the last position in last 2 years, 2020 and 2021. But if you see the 2022, it has come to the third position. It is doing a great job now. Now, if I want, I can go to the next level here. It is the fourth option, which says expand one level down. If I click on this option, this will show me about the quarters. Earlier, it was showing me only about the years, but this will show me about the quarters as well as years. So this is what you call as a ribbon chart, and it will give you more clarity on this. Now, we have created multiple visuals over here. Now, what I want to show is, we'll arrange it properly very soon. We'll make it little cosmetic better wise. Now, the other part would be, if I want to give a title on the top, insert menu bar, and here is the text box option here. So instead of text box, I would prefer something given as blank option. This button, blank button, this will give you a background, plus I can write a text as well. So let me select the option as blank, and here I can select this option here. Now in this place, the text you cannot write it directly. So when you right click and select the option as format, on the right hand side if you see there's a format tab which comes. In the button style option, if I go to this text option, here I can write something about the title which says Techno Edge Sales Analysis Report. So people think it is a report, but it is a dashboard. Microsoft has confused this term. So you can call, if you're showing this to a layman person, you can say it's a dashboard. But if you're showing to a Power BI expert who understands the Power BI technical terms, tell them it is a report. So sales analysis report for the Techno Edge company here. I can convert this into a black color, increase the size, and that's it. So now this is what I can prepare a report. Now we can reinvent the wheel and spend a lot of time in the cosmetics. However, we can just import a theme directly from some of the place. So with this particular project, I'll be sharing you one theme. So the theme is kept into one folder. We can just directly upload the theme. So going to this themes part, I can go to view tab and I can click on this browse button, or I can just click on this drop down. I already have a theme created. I'm just using that theme over here. So I can just click on browse for themes and I'll just go to the folder where I have this project app. There's a theme which is already created by Techno Edge. So I can select Techno Edge theme. Now remember, themes are in a JSON file. Okay, themes are something where colors are predefined, backgrounds are predefined, and also the size, colors, everything are predefined. So I can just import that theme and you can see the theme would be applied on this particular report within seconds. And I can just click on got it option. Now this is one of the theme which is applied. If you see, the colors have changed, the background has changed, and we just need to do little bit cosmetic changes here. Now moving on, I can just bring this charts on the top over here and I can bring this ribbon chart at the bottom. Remember, this places at the bottom corners are less viewed by the people. So try to keep attractive things at the corners, the places where people don't observe. There you have to keep some attractive things. So I'll try to keep the attractive thing, which is this ribbon chart at the bottom somewhere. Okay. And the other chart on the top here. Now I'll just try to bring it here. Now about the alignment and about the things, we can do it very nicely over here. So now let us focus on the cosmetics parts of the visual here. We have created all the visuals here. Now we'll add some more charts and some more cards as well. So for example, if you see this particular donut chart, I'll just take into a new page, Control X, and I can just take into a new page here, Control V. Now this particular donut chart, if you observe, this blue color icon which says 49%. Now what exactly, which segment this 49% belongs to? So I have to see the color, match the color on the right hand side, which is legend, which is the most difficult part here. So the person whom you are going to present this, your manager, your stakeholder, do not have that much time to see the color and match the color with the legend. So we want to make their work easier. So what is our job right now? To bring this particular color, name of the color over here in this particular data label. How is it possible? So what you can do is, you can right click on the chart and there's an option given as format. In this format, on the right hand side, you get this format tab here. Now here, first of all, you have to disable the legend part. This legend on the right hand side which was there will be discarded. Now there's a one more option named as detail label. In this detail label, if you see at the bottom, we have the label contains. I'll select the option as category and percent of total. Category and percent of total will be visible here. You can see consumer segment with 49%. Now going back to the value section, I think I can increase the size over here to maybe 11 or 12 so that it is readable, visible to the end user. The color I can change it to black color, so it is a proper visible color here. Now talking about the title is on the left hand side. Let's make it little happening. So I can minimize this detail label and go to this title part. In this title, I will just increase the size of title here. If you see, that's a size I can increase to maybe 17, 18. Here I'll make it as bold and I'll try to change the alignment as middle alignment. So the alignment, now if you see, it is much better as compared to the previous one. Now the background is white color. I want to make it as transparent. So I'll just go to size and style, minimize size and position. Here, if you see, there's a background option. Now remember, in the newer version, background is visible here. This option was available in the properties in the previous version. So now I'll just disable the background. And if you see, it is much better as compared to the previous one. Now I have taken a lot of effort on this particular chart Okay, I'll just press Control X, cut this chart and try to place it here, Control P. Now, this is one of the changes which I've done. Should I spend the same amount of time on the other charts? Should I go and modify the every chart? The answer is no. Select this chart, go to this Home tab and Format Painter. Click on Format Painter and drop that painter brush on the other charts. Format Painter, drop the brush. Format Painter, drop the brush. And same way you can do for the other charts. Carefully observe the title of all the charts are better. I have tried to give the data label. Here also this data label should be modified, which is not modified. So I can select this chart, right click and format. Here in this detail label, I can just go and make this option as category and percent of total. So this will give me the value here. Also at the bottom, which is values option, let me just show you the option here. In this values option, somewhere at the bottom behind me, it is not visible. So I can make this percent of decimal values as 0. So I can put as 0 option here and that will be converted to 0. Now you can see the option which is 0. So now in this part, percent of total, I'll be getting. Now if you want, you can change the display units as well, but right now not required. I'll change the color as black. So slowly, gradually, if you see, we are trying to shape this particular chart in a proper manner. Okay. Same way, I'll pick up this particular chart, which is a column chart, and try to give the data labels, which is at the bottom. Okay. Now those data labels again are in millions. I can convert those data labels into some other option, maybe as values. Here, if I go to display units, I'll select the option as thousands. So this thousands will be given and I'll say as 0 decimal values. That's the option I'll be getting. Now same thing, I can just format painter, apply this. Format painter, apply this here. Now, I will just minimize the other windows to avoid the distraction. Carefully observe the space on the right hand side, space on the left hand side is there, which is not utilized properly. Okay. I have to utilize this space so that I'll get better place and I can place more charts here. How do I increase the size? Okay. By the way, don't forget the end goal. The end goal is to present a beautiful dashboard to the director of the company by automation as well. So I can right click and then click on format canvas. I have to click on the blank space. Remember, right click and format canvas. In the canvas settings option, the size of the chart or the size of the page can be modified. Canvas is the other name for the page background. So if you want to change the page size, I can right click on this blank space. Remember, I have to click on the blank space here and then I can select the option as format canvas. Canvas settings, it's nothing but a page settings. In the previous versions of Power BI, canvas was known as page. And now if I go to this custom option, I'll keep the height as same, but I'll change the width to, let's say, as 1700. And you can see I've got more space where I can put more visuals here. Now I can just minimize that option. I'll try to place the visuals so that it looks better and try to bring those visuals here. Okay. So you can arrange those charts in a proper manner. So I'll also show you how you can place it properly. So what else we can do is we can also present a geographical information. To put a geographical information, I can just click on this drop down and select the option as maps. Click on this maps. Remember, geographical data type, it can be city, country, state, pin code, anything. So right now I'll try to present the sales across different states. I can click on location and I can select the option as state. In the bubble size, I can pick up something about sales. So this will create geographical map here. Now I'll try to position this chart somewhere below and try to bring the other charts on the top. Now this is a map which is presented. If you want to change something cosmetic related to this map, you can definitely do that. You can just click on this format visuals here and I can click on more options. On the right hand side, if you see there's a map settings option, I can change the settings to maybe Arial. And you see this looks a bit better. Now mostly aerial maps are used by the government bodies, government organizations, where they look after the natural calamities like earthquake, the sea surface temperature, land temperature, or the storms, winds, cyclones, all these options. The other option which you see is the road option, which is used by people to see the man-made things like roads, highways, bridges, and everything. So those things you can use it. Other options like dark and light, these are used by military, navy, army people to see from the satellite view. All these options, they are different maps used for different purposes. So I'll just keep it Arial because it looks good for time being. Right. So now moving on to the next part, I have this chart presented or the whole report presented here. Right. So if I want to increase the height of this particular place, I can still increase it. So how do I change it? I can just click on this blank space, right click and format canvas. The height which is given here in the canvas setting, I can change this height to, let's say, 900. And you see, I'll get more space where I can bring those visuals at the bottom. So you see, I'm just getting more space here. So now try to place those visuals in a proper manner. I'll show you the alignment part as well. We have some more space. Why not add the cards on the top? To add the cards, I can just click on this option in the home tab, visual gallery, and this is the card option. So in this card place, I can add some numerical columns. Let me click on the fields option. I can select the option sales, and this gives me the sales, total sales option. Control C, Control V. Okay. So Control C, Control V, copy paste. Now instead of sales, I'll pick up something else. Let's say as quantity. Control C, Control V. After quantity, I'll just delete this one, paste something else. Let's say profit. Control C, Control V. And the last one I'll keep for maybe discount. So these are only numerical columns which we have. Discount. Control C, Control V. And here I can just convert this discount. I'll prepare the number of row counts or the number of orders which I've received. So order IDs, when I have, it gives me the first order ID. I can right click on that and I can say count. So this gave me 7,892. These are the number of records which I have. Now also I have to change the cosmetics of this particular card. Okay, so let's try to change the cosmetic. Select this particular card and on the right hand side you have all the options where you can modify. Here in the callout value, I will first change it to a black color. Increase the size. Display units, I'll make it as thousands maybe. And the value decimals, I'll keep it as 0. Those changes I've made it on the right hand side. Now in the size and style, I have to change the background. I'll make it as off and I'll just try to reduce the size here. Okay. So remember, I have made some changes. Also in the callout value, I should have made it as bold because it's a bigger number here. And in the category label option, I can also increase the size. So that's the changes which I've done. Now I want to apply all the changes on all the cards. Format painter, paste the formatting, format painter, and then format painter. So what we have done is we have done the display units as 1000 instead of millions and billions. We have changed to thousands. And the decimal values I've kept as 0 for better readability. Now, the problem with these cards is they are not of same size, same height, same width. They are not spaced equally. Okay, if you see, some cards are on the extreme left hand side, some cards on the right hand side. I want to bring them all in the same line, same height, same width. How do I do that? Select all the cards. Then in the size and style, size and position, I can change the height as 150. All charts are 150. The width I can keep as 350 or maybe 300. That is one method you can put it. Now, all the cards are of same height and width. Now, if I want to bring in the same alignment, okay, and same equal distancing, if you see the distance here is higher, here the distance is smaller, and here it is bigger distance. So if I want to bring them in the same distance equivalent, format tab, and I can go to the align part, I can say align bottom. You see, all of them have come in the same alignment. And then I can say them distribute horizontally. So all the cards are distributed horizontally. You see, it's in the same alignment. So remember, if you have this kind of dashboard, alignment, the size, this all matters a lot. So let me select all of them and I can just move it on the top. Perfect. That's one card here. Now I can do the same thing with the other options as well, other charts. I can select this chart and I can also see the size and style. We can also do some beautification about adding the shadows. I can select this particular card, go to size and style, and I can enable the shadow part. So when you enable a shadow, you see a shadow is added here. So I can select format painter, select format painter, format painter, and format painter. So this gives you a better look on your particular dashboard. Okay. So select all the cards and then I can say align top and I can say distribute horizontally. So you see before the previous one and the next one looks much better here. So moving on to this other part, I can talk about, let's say, as shadow part. Okay. If I want, I can delete one of the chart if it is disturbing a lot. And I can just move it here. Right. So I'm just pasting the shadow what I've applied the other places. Now, the other thing is I want these charts which are on this place in the same height and width, same alignment, equal distancing between them. How do I do that? So please observe, I'll select this particular chart, see the size and style. I'll make it as 300 and 550. Now 300 and 550 is the height and width. Select this chart again, 300, 550, again 300 and 550. Okay, so it doesn't get a space, so I'll make it as 550. Perfect. Now these three charts are of equal height and width. Now I can select those charts, go to the format, align top, and I can say distribute horizontally. So you see now they are a bit better as compared to the previous one. Now the last two charts, obviously they cannot be of same height and width, but I can just change the height of both the charts. So if it is height is 299 and this chart also I have to keep as 299. Done. Right? These are how you can place it. Now, if you observe here, this particular report which you have prepared in less than 30 minutes, it looks little better. Now, the shadow is also pending for the below two charts. I can select format painter and I can put the formatting. Select format painter, I can put it here. Now, obviously, you'll be getting more time as compared to what we are doing in this particular video. And you can just try to make it a little more visible so that the end user will be happy when they see this particular dashboard. So remember, presentation also matters. Okay, presentation matters here. I'm trying to take you 360 direction about how a dashboard can be made. A map with a geographical data, ribbon chart given here, the pie chart, donut chart, the cards, and also the title here. So now I will just delete this particular title. I can go to this insert tab and try to insert one blank, and that's one blank over here. This particular blank, I'll try to reduce the size, I can say. So after reducing the size of title, what I can do is here in this title, I have to write something here in the button style. In this button style, I will first remove the border option. Next is I will add a text over here about the dashboard title. So I'll write as Techno Edge Sales Analysis Report. Okay, Techno Edge Sales Analysis Report. Increase the size, make it as bold, change the color to black. Okay, and then you can also change the alignment. Now remember, this is not a dashboard. Many people get confused that this is a dashboard. If you are explaining this to someone who's a layman who has never used Power BI, you can tell them it's a dashboard. But if you are talking to a person who's knowledgeable in Power BI, do not tell them it's a dashboard. It is a report in Power BI. So this is a Power BI report here. And what is a dashboard? We have a separate term on that. So moving on, after creating this, we need to add some logos and the social media platform as well. So I'll just go to the insert image option, click on image. I will just try to add an image about the company logo and I'll try to place it here. Right. That's a logo of the company. Perfect. Now also I need to add some social media posts. Suppose someone wants to get connected on LinkedIn or other social media post. I can click on this image option and I have kept the material into one of the folder which I'll be also sharing with you. Brand images. I can talk about LinkedIn and again I'll bring one more image which is for Facebook. Perfect. And I'll try to place it on the right hand side. Bring it again on the right hand side. Perfect. Now this logos and icons added. Now, when you go for a presentation, you have to explain as well. But before that, what we can do is on this particular logo, if the person wants to go to that website, they want to understand about the website. So you need to have the website link as well. And I'll just copy the link, select this particular image in the action point. I can just go back here. I will take it to the web URL option, and here I can paste the URL, Control V. Okay. I can paste that company website URL here. Let me show you this one. So whenever a person press Control click, it will navigate to the website directly. Okay. Similarly, if I want the person to jump to the LinkedIn page of the website or the company, what they can do is I can just Control A, C. I can select this LinkedIn image over here, action, that should be a web URL, and you can paste the URL of this company here. Right. Now, similarly, this is one of the link which you can apply. Same way it applies for the Facebook as well. Now, this is a full-fledged dashboard which is prepared. There can be some more cosmetic changes. It's a video. It's just showing the overview. You have to go in detail and find out the mistakes which I've done, put in the comments so that this dashboard can be made better. Now, here in this part, if you're explaining them or if they're watching it, this is a completely interactive dashboard. If you see, the whole dashboard is right now interactive. So you see, when you're explaining about the West region, you can tell them in the West region, it's a 32% sales done. The total sales is 586,000, 10,000 is the quantity, 88,000 is the profit, 0% is a discount, and 3,000 is the count here. So in just one shot, the whole visibility is there. It's known as 360-degree view. So exactly what is a report / dashboard? It's a visual presentation of your textual data. I'm giving the definition of a dashboard. Visual presentation of your textual data, giving 360-degree insights about data. When I say 360-degree, these are all the columns you can show the data. So it can be sales, profit, category, subcategory, city, country, everything. 360-degree of your data. So visual presentation of your textual data, giving 360-degree insights about data. Okay, 360-degree. Helping end users to take quick decision. Helping end user, who is the end user? The stakeholder, manager, boss, client, anyone. They are the end users, helping them to take a quick decision. For example, if I talk about this West region, I can talk about West region, what is the total quantity received? Okay, if I talk about East region or Central region. So in the Central region, if I want to understand which particular category is doing great or which particular category is not doing a good job. So by looking at the technology, I can say in Central region, technology is not doing a great job. To give more idea, I could have added here a data label to give you more specific numbers. So if I select the East region, I can tell you quickly within a second that the lowest segment or lowest category is what? Furniture, which has 154,000 here. So I can tell you in the East region, the highest sales received was in this particular Q4 of 2022 or 2021. Okay. So I didn't take much time to understand the data. Okay. Because it's a visual format. On the other hand, you show them the data in this particular, Excel format or the CSV format. They will take a lot of time to understand the data. This is what you call a dashboard. So a definition would be, in Google, you'll get a better definition, but my definition, which I've made easier. So it's a visual presentation of your textual data, giving 360-degree insights about your data, helping end users to take a quick decisions. So that is what you call a dashboard or a report, you can say. Now, this specifically is basically a report here, right? Now, if you're a fresher, okay, or if you're a person just migrating from one domain to another domain, if you're looking for a job, take the screenshot of this particular dashboard and start posting on different platforms where you get a job. Maybe it can be on LinkedIn, maybe on a WhatsApp status, maybe inside the company itself. Do not keep this dashboard after preparing in your laptop. It is of no use. So start posting in different platforms. It's a Power BI community. On your LinkedIn page, write one paragraph so that obviously you have done hard work. You have watched a 1 hour video. You have also practiced it for a few hours, 4-5 hours, and then don't keep it in a laptop. Tell the world that you have started learning Power BI, and then you'll get more visibility, more jobs, more opportunities, more freelancing work as well. So that's one part which is there. Now let's come to the director, Techno Edge sales director. They wanted to understand. Now this report after preparing, if I want to share with the director of the company, how do I share it? Should I copy or attach this data and send it to the manager? The answer is no. What you need to do is we have to publish this report in the online version. So we have learned data cleaning and automation. We have learned data visualization. Visualize the data in the report or dashboard format. So now comes the sharing part. If I want to share the report, I can go to the home tab and here I can just click on publish. In the home menu bar, I can click on publish part. Before we move ahead, this dashboard can be made better 10 times, 100 times. You can prepare, think about different colors, different combinations which you can use. Okay. So let's publish a report, home menu bar, publish button. And after publishing, first you have to save the file. Save the file by giving some name, maybe Techno Edge sales analysis report. After that, it will ask you this window. Okay, so I will select my workspace. If you have not logged in, it will ask you to log in. Okay, on this Power BI service. This project is for those people who have learned the basics of Power BI, who knows what is Power BI service. So we are not going into that direction right now. So now Power BI service, I'll select my workspace. It will take around 60 seconds to publish a report. And now after the report is published, I can just click on open Techno Edge project end to end. Now this is the report which is published in the online version. Okay. Now I already have a trial version, license version. So we get a 60 days of trial version in the Power BI service itself. So I remember in my previous company, there was a manager who used to torture me a lot, asking me, did you send me the daily report? Did you send me the weekly report? And so on. So they used to do a lot of torturing. I hope you also are bearing that same thing in the organization, but that was his duty. They used to do purposely so that I don't get appraisal. I was a good performer in the organization. But now coming to the point here, I used to sit and do daily reports every day. I used to send email to my boss. Hi boss, please find the attachment of daily report. Hi boss, please find the attachment of weekly report. And I used to do this for 2 years and 3 years and many, many years. I hope you might also be doing the same thing. Stop doing it right away. You can automate this work. This report can automatically go to your boss or manager directly from Power BI service. And not only the same data, but the updated data. How is it possible? Let me show you that thing. On the top of this Power BI service, I have an option as subscribe to this report. When I click on subscribe to this report, I can just click on add new subscription and I can write kind of an email. I will write here, let's say I want to write it for my accounts team. I want to send this report as daily. Okay, but my manager doesn't come on maybe Sundays. I'll send them weekly. So from Monday to Saturday, okay, please observe the frequency. From Monday to Saturday or Monday to Friday, the report should go daily. So if it is sometimes required hourly as well, if you work in the stock market and broker and finance company and all, they used to send the reports hourly. But I'll just go for weekly, Monday to Friday. You can also schedule a monthly report as well. Every first of every month, you should get the report. So I'll just go for weekly, Monday to Friday. And the timing I can set. Suppose my manager or stakeholder comes at 9 o'clock in the morning. By 10 o'clock, the report should go directly to his mailbox, her or his mailbox. So this particular report, interactive report, will go to the mailbox here. Now I also have the more options. If I click on more options, I can write the subject line. I can say it as daily report or maybe as daily sales report. Here I can say, hi, let's say my manager's name is Tejas. Please find the attachment of daily report. Okay. So this particular page will go, that's page 1. And here from start date to the end date, and I can just click on save. So I will not click on save, the person will keep on getting daily. So I'll just click on cancel here. So it is possible that the data is automatically fetched up, the dirty data, and the dashboard is automatically updated. This is highly possible. Okay. So now let me show you practical. I'm just clicking on cancel button here. This is the output here, which the person will get automatic emails. Now, there's one more thing here. There are many organizations who are using Microsoft Teams. Okay. The manager, if I had that manager today, they used to ask me daily report. Have you sent me the daily report? Have you sent me the weekly report? So what I can do is now in Microsoft Teams, I can just go back to this chat option here. Okay. In the chat option, I can just go to any one chat of my team which I have. And here comes the plus icon. So imagine this is one of your colleague, stakeholder or manager, anyone. So I can just click on this plus icon. On the top, if you see there's a plus icon, and I can just search for Power BI. Okay. And I'll search Power BI. And from that particular report, it will just bring the whole Power BI service over here. And I have to search the name of that report, Techno Edge project end to end, and I'll just click on save. So now what will happen is the whole report which I have prepared in the online version will be visible here in Microsoft Teams. It is possible, okay, in the Microsoft Teams itself. So now what will happen? The scenarios have changed. Earlier, if your manager, client or boss used to ask you daily reports, why didn't you send me the daily reports? Okay. Now the table have changed. Okay. The positions have changed. This updated report will be to your managers or clients or stakeholders inbox daily without you coming to the office. Now you as a person can ask your manager, you already had a report. What is the status? Can you update me on that? What should I do? Help me with my next move. So the questions will change and you will be at a safer zone now where you have automated the whole work and you're just waiting for manager's approval or reply or whatever it is, right? That is how you can pick up. So now, if you update the data, if you dump a new file in that folder, the whole dashboard should be updated. That I'll show you practically. But now there's one catch here. This can be done by the admin in the organization. You as a developer may hardly have the access. So coming back to Power BI service, in my workspace, when you go to that dashboard here, Techno Edge project end to end. Okay, this is a data set and that's a report for Techno Edge project end to end. I'll click on this three dots and I can click on this settings button. We have to do some settings which can be done by the admin person. In the data source credentials, it says monthly sales data. The password is incorrect. Okay. So I have to click on edit credentials and I'll say as none. Click on sign in. Now again, I'm assuming that you already have gone through the basic training of Power BI, some classroom training, some online training, some YouTube recordings or anything. And then you will understand what we have done here. So we have done the automation part. And what I want is I can tell them to refresh. So I can refresh this particular report every day at 5 p.m. and also at let's say 9 p.m. Also maybe at 1 a.m. in the morning and I can click on apply. So now what will happen is if I go to this home tab and if I open that Techno Edge project end to end, okay. So what will happen is it will be automatically updated 5 p.m., 9 p.m. and 1 p.m. every day without me coming to the office. The only thing is right now, okay, this is the folder which I have 36 files in the folder. If I copy one file, Control C and Control V, I copy pasted one more file, which is 37 file now. I am in the online version. I am bypassing the desktop version. I'm directly in the online version. So in this online version, you have to remember any one number, maybe 30,000 quantity. Just remember any one number from here. I will remember 30,000. So we have dumped the file in the folder. Now we will refresh it. We cannot wait till 5 o'clock. So I will refresh it now and you see the whole dashboard will be updated. So let me go back to my workspace. I will remember 30,000. My workspace and here somewhere at the bottom where the data is there for Techno Edge project end to end. Here if you observe the next refresh, let me zoom the screen for you. So the next refresh would be done at 5 o'clock. Okay, would be done at 5 o'clock and here is the data set. So I cannot wait till 5 p.m. I'll just click on refresh now. Okay, so it is 2:28 today. Okay, 2:28 is the time right now and report is also 2:28. So when I click on refresh button, this 2:28 should be updated to maybe 2:40, 2:41, right? So you see 2:40 and 2:41. Okay, 2:40. So when you update the data, the dashboard will be updated. Okay, so when I open this report in the new page, I remember the number was 30,000. Okay, this was 30,000 and here it is 31,000 here. That means it is updated. What I did was I have spent with you, let's say 2 hours on combining data, cleaning data, visualization and everything. Now this was the last 2 hours which I'm spending on this particular project. It took me 2 hours. It will take you 3, 4, 5 hours depending upon the complexity of the project. Not sometimes it might also take days. But that amount of time which you'll be investing will be only one time. You don't have to prepare it every now and then. And the beautiful part is if you update the file in that particular folder and here is Microsoft Teams. If you communicate via Microsoft Teams and I can just click on refresh button here. The moment I click on refresh button, this number has changed to 31,000 here. That means you just dump a file in the folder, the dirty data, and the output would be dashboard here. So basically, this concept is followed by one of the person I follow in India, Gandhiji, the new generation of Gandhiji which came here. And they said it in the lockdown. I used to watch some videos and get inspired. So it's a funny character I have. So they used to say that यहाँ से आलू डालो and वहां से सोना निकालो. So Alu Dalu and Sona Nikalo, people who are watching in India, they understand what I'm trying to say. But if you're watching from abroad, from other country, just said on a lighter note that you put the potato or vegetable from here and you'll get the output as a gold. Okay. And I understood understood that concept that it might be possible. So I put the dirtiest possible data in the folder and the output will be a gold for me. That is a beautiful dashboard to the manager. And do I have to come to the office for this work? The answer is no. So if you think that to at least put the dirty data into a folder, you have to come to the office, the answer is no. Power BI can connect with your SharePoint directly, with your email directly. That Excel which you're getting, and if you're trying to put into a folder, might be coming from somewhere, right? It might be coming from email, SharePoint, or SQL Server. So Power BI can directly go and talk to those folders, talk to those emails, SQL, and anything, SharePoint, and get the whole output automatically and send a beautiful dashboard to your manager. This is what we call end-to-end project about Power BI. Now, this is not only a dashboard creation or automation. I've explained you end-to-end project. Therefore, Microsoft Power BI is known as business intelligence tool. It's also known as automation tool. It is helping organizations to automate their work, make their business decision faster. And it is so easy that we have not used any coding language to get the answers. So if you're a person working on this project, you can explain this language to your interviewer, to your team, who can just switch to this Microsoft Power BI. So like this, you'll keep on seeing multiple projects which are coming in Power BI, and I wish you all the best. Try to practice it, because just watching video will not make you perfect. You have to practice it n number of times. After practicing, do not keep this dashboard in your laptop. Publish it online on LinkedIn. If you're a professional looking for a job or a change, put in LinkedIn. If you're just a person who are a youngster, Facebook, Insta might be something which will attract you. But try to post it. Don't keep it in a laptop. Take a PNG file, snapshot in a snipping tool, and just post it. Talk about this sales analysis report and explain it. That's it, everyone. I hope you have understood this end-to-end project about sales of the Techno Edge learning services. And thank you. All the best.